What happened after AR1?
It came as a huge shock and surprise in the
Shock.
present one.
Always this debate whether it is IISc or IIT Bombay.
I somehow heard that IIC has.
So how was your life at IISc?
So coursework, there were roller coasters. I ended up.
Generally in IIT Bombay, the focus will be on technology. In IISc, the focus will be on. Do you think that studying at IISc has changed your perspective towards life?
Yes, so studying at IIC actually taught me.
What is your philosophy about life?
You have one life.
What are the hobbies that you have?
I've just finished building my fourth 3D printer from scratch.
Which means you build the 3D printer.
And I also do a bit of CAD design, minor hobbies like, for example, film photography. I build and ride my own bicycles.
And what about traveling? I think you love traveling.
Yeah, I love traveling.
When are you working then? With all these things going on. Hari, you passed out in 2012. It's been 12 years.
Yeah.
So I want to know how the life is after AIR1. So tell me right from beginning, what happened after AIR1? How did your parents react?
So yeah, after AIR1, none of us expected. So it came as a huge shock and surprise in the present one. So expected a decent rank, but not the first rank. So then we began to look around for colleges. I applied in IIC and IIT Kanpur and Bombay just in case. And I ended up joining in IIC because it was always a dream to go to IIC.
Why not IIT Bombay? People generally, there is always this debate whether it is IISc Bombay, IISc or IIT Bombay. Why did you choose?
Back then I was interested in theoretical computer science. I was interested in automated theory. I was interested in discrete math more than anything else. And I somehow heard that IIC has better research and theory prospects than IIT Bombay. And that's the general notion that is prevailing. So yeah. I ended up taking IIC, and also the icing is that IIC is closer to Hyderabad, and I can just take a bus from home to college without any hassle.
Okay, it is very close to Hyderabad.
Walk from home to bus stop and walk from the bus from the bus stop to college directly.
Okay.
I don't. So my going home and coming back is very easy. That's one thing. And then as I said, I was interested in theoretical computer science. So I heard that this is better.
So how was your life at IISc? Like, is it as you expected, or were there any roller coaster?
So coursework, there were roller coasters. I ended up learning a lot of new stuff. So I never imagined subjects like probability and automated theory to be the kind they were in IISc.
Very tough
and also different. So I did not know that you can end up proving Gödel's incompleteness theorem using automated theory. I did not know that you will enter analysis from probability. I did not know that you can apply probability distribution in operating systems. All these things were very new.
Interrelated.
Yeah.
Everything.
So the entire
everything was based on mathematics in IISc, right?
Yes.
So for every course, they will take the fundamentals of mathematics and they will bring it to the course from there.
Yes, everything. Even communications was again like a probability course. Even networking.
Generally in IIT Bombay, the focus will be on technology. In IISc, the focus will be on science.
Yeah, exactly. And then also interdisciplinary things. So I took a course on computational geometry, and computational geometry has wide-ranging applications in biology. So I had classmates from biology who were taking this course and then trying to apply it into their fields. And then we had linear algebra where everyone from all corners of the campus used to come. We had all the interdisciplinary things, and my friend circle was also very different there. So I had a geeky friend circle. We had
all the IISc people are like geeky only.
I made
including you.
I'm a product of that friend circle. So I made sure that I make friends outside engineering and outside computer science as a whole. So I had friends from biology. I had friends from physics. I had from particle physics. I had from organic chemistry. I had all over the
Did you go to their labs and learn anything from them?
Yes, a lot of things.
So you have went to other departments and you used to spend time.
Yes.
Can you tell me some examples where you had?
So physics department had a liquid helium on tap. Basically, there's a tap which you can turn and get liquid helium out of it.
Oh, okay.
We have played with that. I've played with liquid nitrogen also. I've seen glow in the dark lab rats.
Oh, lab rats which will glow in the dark.
They take one gene from some jellyfish and put it into a rat and it begins to glow in the dark.
Oh, I missed out this. So when I was in IISc, all my friend circle were from computer science.
Yes.
So I missed out opportunity to know other things, what are happening in other departments.
We had discussions on what it takes to build a nuclear reactor.
Reactor?
Yeah, and then...
So you had discussions on that?
Yeah, because I had a friend who was a particle physicist.
Okay.
So and I had a friend who was into string theory. So we had discussions on that. So I had friends from electrical and electronics, from instrumentation. So
where did you find time for all this? Even doing masters itself is
so very discussions, late night discussions, sitting in each other's rooms and debating stuff. I actually ended up working for one of these guys actually after my masters. 2017 to 18, I worked in a startup called Benflex, called Sperm Technologies. So we built a micro gripper to hold single cells in the body. So in IVF, there's a thing called ICSI where they use suction to hold the egg and sperm.
Okay.
So that is like playing hockey at the microscopic level, because all you have is one needle and suction, and you have a spherical egg which you roll around, and then you need to hold it in the right orientation. So we developed a micro gripper which is of the order of 100 microns, which can actually go and hold that thing and measure force and measure deformation in the egg, and then measure its health and hold it in the right orientation and fertilize it. So I was the only non-mechanical engineer in this company. And I did everything from electronics to 3D printing to CAD design to computer vision in that company. So, and the founders was my hostel neighbor and one of the people in the circle of mine. It was an interesting time.
That's amazing. So now that you had what are your hobbies like? How do you look like someone who always are into some geeky things, right? You always like something related to technology. You always try to do something with new technology. So what are the hobbies that you have?
My primary hobbies are aero modeling and astrophotography and 3D printing and
can you explain me in detail about each one?
So when the season is right, I'm an astrophotographer almost every weekend.
What is astrophotography?
I shoot the stars and nebulas and galaxies. So I go to a farmhouse not far from the city and sit all night and image galaxies and nebula. That is one of my
And you don't sleep the whole night?
Most of the night, yes.
Most of the night you will be awake and you will be analyzing the stars.
Unless it clouds up. And then I also began a bit of spectroscopy to actually see what elements are in those stars. So I can look at a nebula and see what elements are there. Like, for example, if you take Orion Nebula, there is an abundance of hydrogen, and you can measure the abundance. That to me is very cool. So I can actually measure and confirm the things which I've been reading since childhood, like the universe is 70% hydrogen and 30% helium, and everything else is one tiny fraction of the universe. You can actually with hobby grade things you can measure and confirm these things. That for me is very
interesting hobby. And what else do you do to kill time?
I don't kill time, but
you spend time.
I spend time.
You take out time for doing all this.
More than this, I invest time in all this.
Invest. Okay.
So I do 3D printing. I've just finished building my 4th 3D printer from scratch. And so this is...
Which means you build the 3D printer?
Yes. All of them.
You build the 3D printer on your own?
Yeah.
And then you build things using 3D printers?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
So there is a open source project called RepRap, which is and completely open source 3D printer schematic and software and everything. And then there is a company called Prusa. Then Prusa has a printer called Prusa i3, and then everything in the world is a clone of Prusa i3. So you get it as kits which you can assemble, and then you can build over it. You can now upgrade parts of it. You can change parts of it. You can print better parts of it on itself.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so I do all these things, and I also do a bit of CAD design from which I learned while working in Spoon. Um, that so that I used to print all the plastic stuff at home, and then I print toys for my kids.
Okay. So it is very cost effective.
It is not it is actually costlier than buying because injection molding is cheaper than printing, but then you can print whatever you like
Okay.
to your design. You don't need
Like, do you print Barbie dolls?
not Barbie dolls, but I printed unicorns. I printed so things which move and articulate. It's a bit hard to print.
Okay.
I can print someone else's design, but it's a bit hard for me to design.
Okay.
Because the tolerances have to be just right.
Okay.
If it is too loose, it'll hang like a skeleton. If it is too right, it'll just be stuck.
Okay.
So all the articulating things, I generally don't tend to design. I design single unibody stuff.
Got it.
Uh,
And what else do you do?
and then I also do. I have a few other minor hobbies, like for example, film photography. I shoot on film and I develop my own film. I have a few examples I can show.
Okay, you do film making.
No, film as in 35 millimeter film photography.
Okay. Film
And
photography.
Film photography and
Oh, where the camera will be having the films.
film, and then
You still use them.
I still use them.
Why? Digital cameras are already available, right?
It's fun to use and develop. You can do.
Oh, you develop the photos from
Yes.
that. Okay.
It,
I don't know if there are film
there are a few people like me who do it.
Oh, okay.
But-
Are
but
there
this-
film cameras available in the market?
Yes, but very rare and hard to find. And I have them at home anyway. My father's stuff.
Okay, so you work on them.
I work on. This is something that I do on and off, like once in a year or so. But it's something I've been doing for the last many years.
Okay, got it.
And apart from this, I build and ride my own bicycles. This is
So you build your own
I
bicycles.
build my own bicycles.
Okay. And then you have bicycling hobby.
Yes, so cycling is one of my hobbies, but I enjoy building more than riding. So. Then
That's interesting. You are very interesting. Like you do lot of stuff. Like and what are the other things? It is interesting. Just keep going.
So
Don't stop.
yeah, then I do electronic stuff. I it's just random electronic stuff, like whatever is needed around the house, like a sensor for this and a sensor for that kind of things.
Okay.
Then for some time I was into aquariums, but I am not currently into it. I was into bonsai at one point of time. I was in
Bonsai also.
bonsai also.
Aquariums, bonsai.
Aquariums and so all this and
You tried your hands on everything.
everything, and some stuck, some did not stick.
Okay.
So like astronomy is stuck. It stuck longer than these things,
Okay. And 3D printing stuff.
and that stuck. Yes.
And what about traveling? I think you love traveling.
Yeah, I love traveling. I've been all over East Africa, North Africa, into Southeast Asia, and
How many countries have you visited so far?
24
24 countries.
24 countries.
So your aim is to visit all the countries in the world.
Hopefully.
So you definitely are making time for all this.
Yes. So
When are you working then? With all these things going on, when do you get time to work?
I take 2 vacations a year, one summer and one winter, and each for 10 days. So yeah, that's pretty much enough across the last 10 years to cover 24 countries.
In 10 years, you have covered 24 countries.
Yeah.
Oh,
8 years, 7 years. But
7 years you
7
covered.
years.
Which means you must have gone even 3 times also.
Or
Sometime.
one trip, 2 countries.
In one trip, you covered 2 countries. Oh, okay. That's great.
Yeah, so it depends on the country. If it is like Madagascar, it is always one. If it is a smaller thing like Mauritius kind of thing, then 2.
Got
Then
it.
you hop
Got it.
onto the next one and come.
So I have met many people. Like I keep meeting people generally, but out of all the people, I find your life very interesting. What is your take? What do you think life is, and how do you think anyone should live life? What way we should live life? What is
You
your philosophy about life?
you have one life and
Hmm.
you should live to the max. So
One life and live to your mind.
live to your max. So
And what is your philosophy towards money? Like you could easily be working in US for a company like, let us say, Tesla or Google or Facebook, but then you choose not to do that. But so you could easily crack any interview in the world, but then you didn't choose to work for mang companies. You are working for a startup.
yeah.
So what is the
So
reason?
yeah, Zenoti is not really a startup right now, but I always I began my career in a company called MathWorks. Um, they make they make the product called MATLAB.
Hmm.
So after after nearly 1.5 year there, I wanted to work in a startup after that, and then I liked working in startups since then. I like the smaller teams and the faster pace work, and then higher visibility and then higher impact. So
Okay.
everything you do today will have an impact tomorrow.
But then working in a startup is hard work, right? Compared to if you choose to work for Google, compared to that, working in a startup would be like harder. You are responsible for many things,
Yes.
even though your role will be something. You will
Yes.
be doing something else.
Yes.
What is your role in your company now?
So here my role, so my designation here is architect, but I do a lot of other things. So I mostly do prototyping and exploratory stuff. Uh, I look I mainly deal with costing, exploration, and POCs, and talking to vendors and basically solving problems.
Okay, okay. So in your life, after 12 years passing out from IISc, do you think that studying at IISc has changed your perspective towards life?
Yes, so studying at IIC actually taught me to learn. I learned to learn. And so now nothing is too hard to learn. That's what I understood at IIC. The
You learn on your own.
Yeah, you
In
learn how to learn. You learn how to read
IISc,
papers.
I think they don't teach you from basics.
They don't.
You are supposed to know your basics.
Yes.
And then I don't think that they will teach you at all. They will give you work in such a way that you will learn on your own.
Yes.
You will be learning from your peers. You will be learning from internet. You will be learning from books. That is what IISc is.
Yes.
That is what I feel.
Yes.
So has this created any change in your perspective?
Yeah. This taught me how to pick up things quickly and how to learn things on my own. How to be resourceful with what I have. And then nothing is too hard and nothing is too far. So it taught me how to ration time. It taught me um, how to read papers.
Okay.
So all this actually helps. So you don't need to uh, trust somebody's library or anything blindly. You can actually read and understand what goes behind it.
Okay. So while I was talking to you, you sometime you said that you don't save any money.
I don't say I save money, but I don't try to build wealth right now.
Okay. So is there a plan of building wealth, or is it like your perspective towards money is like this?
So yeah, I mean my needs are met. I have a place to stay which is my own, and pretty much all that I have now is to travel and to explore.
Okay. So once I was talking to Hari, and Hari told me that uh, his life is all about creating experiences,
Yeah.
not about earning money and saving money. So this is so beautiful. Hari has a beautiful family. He has 2 daughters, and his family is so beautiful. So and he makes lot of memories. When I went to Hari's house, I have seen lot of pictures of their family in different countries, and these pictures were taken by Hari itself. I think they do you use that reel wala camera.
No, I carry my DSLR setup anywhere I go. So depending on the country I go, so with my kids I've gone to, yeah, we have crossed the Silk Road in Uzbekistan. We have seen the Atlantic Ocean and Mediterranean in Morocco. We have seen the Sahara Desert in Morocco. We have seen Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. we have seen
Your life is so damn
we have
complete.
seen Stalin's Gulag in Kazakhstan. We have seen Zanzibar. We have seen coral reefs in Zanzibar. We have seen the big five animals in Zimbabwe. We have seen Addis Ababa. We have seen so in Nairobi. Yeah, and then the next is Mauritius and the Union Island, and the next year hopefully we'll see so Tajikistan, Iran, and Russia. So now East Asia is done. The entire thing from Cairo to the southernmost tip, and also Madagascar, East Africa. So and North Africa is done from Cairo to Morocco.
So working at a startup, having hobbies, balancing family time, I think you are doing everything. Like you are looking impossible. Like you have achieved really impossible feat. I think life after AAR1, your AAR1 is fantastic. So yeah, we should learn a lot from you how to balance. So can you tell me about how do you balance time
So
between
all
all
my
this?
my hobbies are seasonal. So astronomy only lasts between winter to spring, because once the summer kicks in, there'll be clouds there, and then the monsoon comes, and 4 months is gone. So in summer and monsoon, I pick up something else, like I like cycling or motorcycling or something else. And in winter and spring, I do astronomy. My kids have holidays in Christmas time and in summer, so we plan one trip in each of the seasons. Rest of the time, I go to office.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Okay, Hari. Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast and
Thank you.
telling
Thank you for
about
having me.
your life. I think you will inspire a lot of students in order to get AAR1 and get into IISc and become have a life like you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys.